Hi everyone. Today I'm here with Ariana from AK Business Link, the Polish representative of GTEx Europe Berlin, one of the newest major tech events connecting startups, investors, and the innovation ecosystem across Europe. Hi Ariana.
Hi, Julia. Hi, nice to be with you here today.
So nice to see you again. So as Ariana already mentioned, my name is Julia and I'm community builder at Startup Hub Poland, and I'll be hosting today's really short interview about the international startup ecosystems, Berlin, and the growing role of the CE funders in Europe. So shall we start?
Sure, ready.
Great. To warm up a little bit, Ariana, please tell me a little bit more about GTEx Europe Berlin and the idea behind bringing GTEx to Europe.
Mhm. Sure. So in general, GITEX is one of the biggest tech events in the world, and it originated in Dubai. The edition in Dubai has almost 50 years of legacy. It's, of course, the biggest tech event in the Middle East and one of the top events in the world. And of course, bringing a lot of international companies, visitors from all over the world. And a couple of years ago, GITEX decided to cater also to local needs in local economies. And one of the events that we had the inauguration last year is GITEX Europe in Berlin. And why Berlin? Because of course, it's one of the most strategically connected tech ecosystem in Europe. It's not only a German startup city, it's an international startup city. It's European innovation platform. It combines capital, it combines startups, it combines corporates, deep tech, international founders, everything in one ecosystem. And this is exactly what GITEX loves the most. GITEX loves connecting all ecosystems together. Of course, Berlin has it has over 20 unicorns right now. It's number 4 in Europe by VC investment. It's number 2 in Europe by number of VC rounds, and that all. So not only Germany but Berlin. It gives the perfect layers to become house of GITEX in Europe for
Great. So
now
no
second
wonder why it
edition.
was chosen as a house of GTEx Europe version. Completely got it. And I know that you already slightly answered that question, but I want to get like a little bit deeper into that, maybe with one sentence even. So to sum this up, why you think that Berlin makes such a like important getaway for startups from Central and Eastern Europe, of course, including Poland.
Mhm. So I think Berlin in general, it's often the most natural first international scaling ecosystem for Polish companies, for Polish startups, and also other CEE startups and companies. This ecosystem, this access to investors, enterprise clients, distribution, international visibility, I think those are like the main points that makes Berlin this getaway for CE startups, definitely, yeah.
Great. We already mentioned also investors. So, and we can start with saying that we really often hear that the German venture capital and startup ecosystems are highly international. And from your perspective, are you seeing the growing interest in C startups from international investors?
So in general, I will start with this thought that I believe that in general the strongest startups ecosystems, and Germany, of course, it is a stronger startup ecosystem, are usually the most internationalized ones. Yes, so naturally Germany is investing a lot of capital outside country, and I think it's around 60%. So 60% of VC investors from Germany allocate capital outside of Germany. And on the other hand, the CE startups are getting a lot of fundings from foreign investors because we don't always have this this maturity of investors in our country. So, for example, in Poland, 42% of VC funding comes from foreign investors. So this is a natural synergy, I believe, because German investors, they are looking for startups abroad, and our Polish and CE startups are looking for investments from abroad. So naturally, those ecosystems very well cooperate together. Of course, CE founders are increasingly perceived as very technically strong, resilient, very execution focused, very disciplined, and of course very talented. So naturally, this increased the interest from those German investors. Yes.
Great, thank you so much. See, and also we already started like talking more about the Polish field, so I'm gonna stick to Poland for a moment. So as we know, like lately, Poland has one of the largest startup ecosystems in the region, basically. And what do you think that Polish funders still need most when scaling internationally?
So for scaling internationally, Polish funders, they need to think internationally and think internationally from day one, I believe, because for many Polish founders, international strategy is like a point in the timeline that they don't really have to think about it now. They think it about, okay, when we get this, when we get this, when we get this, then maybe one day if this happens or whatever, maybe we'll think about it, not even do it, maybe we'll think about it. Why I believe that first step of an international success is to think globally from day one. So this is a mindset that we need to enhance within Polish startups. That of course it's getting better, but I believe that it's still not enough. Let's say comparing to maybe UK startups and so on who have this mindset from day one. So this is one thing, because of course, again, we have this talent and we have all the technologies. So what we're lacking is this kind of mindset. And the other thing, I believe, it's a little bit connected with the ecosystem itself. It's our ecosystem. It's not mature enough. Yes, so we don't have enough of smart capital enterprise networks to help Polish companies scale. Of course, it's getting better, but we would still need to do some work also on the ecosystem maturity.
Yeah,
Yes.
I strongly agree with that. Let's call it a tip, basically, to start thinking globally from day one. I know that people kind of are scared of doing that, but let's face the fact that you know the global success doesn't have to come in a short amount of time. It doesn't have to happen after a year of a company working. It can happen within the 5-10 years, but as you said, starting from day one to think about that, and when you're gonna feel that you are mature enough in Poland, because we were talking about that particular country at this point, if you're gonna be mature enough and ready to go globally, then move the ideas from the beginning to other fields, which is a really great tip. And guys, don't be scared to think globally, even if you don't have enough yet. So that's
like you have
good.
to. There's not really other chance, because we don't have this smart capital in Poland yet to cater all the startups.
Yeah.
So if you really want to get it, you have to go. There's no really other option. So it's a natural way of things. So definitely think globally. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also want to know that, in your opinion, what distinguishes founders from Central and Eastern Europe today?
So I think, again, we are definitely hardworking. We are definitely we have great talents, technological talents. We are very much recognized for our resilience, efficiency. Sometimes because we have less resources, so sometimes we are very much more disciplined operationally, because we have to do same things with less, which is very admirable, I would say. So yes, and competitiveness, definitely. I believe founders from Poland, Central, Eastern Europe are very competitive, and this is a plus. Sometimes we don't cooperate together as much as we could.
We're trying.
Yes, but
Trying
of
our
course,
best.
yes, this is also changing because of ecosystems, accelerators like you, of course, and so on. This is a little bit changing. So this will be definitely a plus, that there is this kind of initiative supporting the startup ecosystem. But yes, definitely we have, like, the founders from Poland and Central and Eastern Europe, they have what it takes, definitely. It's just more about how to market it and how to promote it and where. But otherwise, like, we really have what it takes, definitely.
Exactly, and this is also kind of answering my next question, because I wanted to also ask you about the European startup ecosystem, that it's becoming less local and more interconnected internationally. So we already said that we're thinking less about only the local markets that we have in our, like, area, but also we started thinking about going to another fields, which is really great. But like becoming, like, thinking about getting our own starting our own business, there's also like a part that I guess really a lot makes us thinking about like starting something something particular, like trends, basically. And what startup sectors or trends currently attract the strongest attention from investors and corporations across the Europe?
So AI is, of course, a big trend right now. But I would say maybe Middle East, Africa, it's a little bit of a hype and so on. I think in Europe still investors are a little bit more selective, more looking for real business value and not just the scalability and the hype and so on. So of course it's a trend, but it's not as big. It's more distinguished, I would say, maybe.
Yeah.
Of course, enterprise oriented technologies are always a big trend and continuously are. Cybersecurity, infrastructure and industrial technologies. Of course, defense and security tech right now, also very big trend.
Cool.
I mean, trend, probably it will stay for now. Yes, this is what I would name. Deep tech, of course, climate tech a little bit less, but still, of course, it has to be a part of European
It's still
strategies.
trendy.
Yes,
Let's say it
yes,
like that.
exactly. And
Yeah,
of course, anything that's focusing on technological sovereignty, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't catch it, but maybe you also mentioned. If not, I would add the fintech to that list, because it's also really again, let's call it trendy right now. However does it sound, but like financial sector is opening more for young innovators, which is, in my opinion, a really great really great way to like get this sector more or like to expand more, basically. Before I'm gonna move to like to summary and ask you more about the GTEx Europe, how do you see the future of European startup ecosystem in the next few years? Like in one sentence, how would you call it?
I see the future very well because, of course, Europe increasingly wants technologies that are built in Europe. So, yeah, this is a chance for technologies that are built in Europe. Yes, so this is exactly what we need, what we're looking for. Yeah.
Great. Okay, and moving on to GTEx Europe, as for the summary of this short interview, as I said at the beginning. What role do events like GTEx play today beyond traditional networking?
So definitely the value, it's not just about networking, but it's also about the access to the ecosystems. Yes, but of course the event itself, it gives you the access, but it won't do your homework. So you still need to prepare, you still need to know what's your goal, and knowing your goal actually it's the biggest measure for success. You still need to know who you want to talk to, and you still need to know what value do you bring. Yes, and you need to try. There is different pitching competitions, there is matchmaking, like you can really investor programs, you can really take a lot from an event, but you have to know the options, and you need to know how to use them well. This is why we are here, to help you leverage the possibilities, the options that the event gives you, and to use this platform, because it is definitely a platform. We just need to try to get it from from
Which is
everyone.
a really great thing in my opinion, because it also like answers it's a summary to also another question I really wanted to ask, that how the startups can make the most out of this experience, which you already mentioned, that GTEx like connects a lot of sectors basically. So you can meet people from cybersec, from fintech, from defense and everything in one place, which is not very common. Let's face the fact that mostly when events like taking places, they're mostly like focused on one particular sector, and GTEx is bringing almost everything that that you can get in a tech world into one place. So that's a really great possibility and opportunity to startups to network more and get valuable connections during that. Great. And not to keep you longer, I wanted to ask my final question from your perspective. What potential do you personally see in the Polish startup ecosystem?
Again, very big potential, because not only because of talents, but because we see like we have now this growing generation of founders, and I believe that once we have them, then we will the market for reinvesting will get a little bit more matured as well. So once those founders will become unicorns, then we can count on them in terms of reinvesting in other Polish startups. Yes, so we keep the smart money inside. We have more smart money for our Polish startups, and this will slowly get our ecosystem matured, like in other, like in Germany, like in UK, like in US. So this is something I hope we will see in a couple of next years. And then, of course, if this podcast has this power, if we can have like any incentives, maybe tax regulations, tax incentives for investors, this is something we would very much need here, just to encourage again in investing in our Polish startups.
Yes, so this is a call to action for investors that invest more into the Polish market, because we have really a lot of fantastic unicorns that gonna make our country way better than it's already is. And I forgot to ask you, because I know that we're seeing each other at GTEx in Berlin soon, but for people who don't know, when is taking place?
So it's 30th June to July 1st, so it's 2 days in Berlin. And definitely, if you're going, let us know. There is a lot of side events as well, so let us know. I will invite you personally, just because we want to network a lot within each other as well, to become this, Polish technological force, not just Polish technological companies. And yes, hope to see you soon.
Great. Thank you so much, Ariana, for your time, for a fantastic conversation. See you in Berlin.
See you in Berlin. Thank you
so
very
much.
much. Thank
Bye.
you.